It's a tough league.
What'd you make of the fight late after falling behind by that much to be able to get back in and have a chance to tie it?
Yeah, the second half was terrific. The first half, we didn't play well. They played great. We had some controllable things that we didn't do well, and it's 16 points at halftime, and we threw away 2 balls in transition. Those are controllable. We had situations where we were fouling unnecessarily. Those are the things that we need to fix. Second half we played with a lot more presence, and it was the difference was obvious.
I know hasn't been about stats for you with Jarace, but he did have quite a few of them tonight. What did you like about his process and the way he played today?
Yeah, he played well.
What do you think has just changed from him since Ben's gotten back? It seems like he's been kind of in more comfortable situations. He's been more efficient.
Who?
Jarace. I feel like since Ben's been back, he's come off the bench a little bit. It seems like he's been in some situations where he's been a little more comfortable. He's been a little more efficient. Certainly seemed like he was more efficient tonight. How has Ben coming back changed things, and also just how have you seen his approach change?
How has Ben coming back changed Jarace?
Jarace, yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But look, we need everybody. Jarace really gave us a lift in the second half, and we need what he can do. He can make shots on the perimeter. He drove the ball well. He has the ability to be a difference-making defender and rebounder, and he showed that some in the second half. And I think with everybody on our team, everything's got to start with your level of presence, your disposition, defensively, friction, all those kinds of things. And then, offense flows from there. It's a hard league to score in right now. And the best thing to help you score is stops and rebounds.
What you mentioned him driving. It seemed like he got at the rim, I think, for three big layups in that stretch. Just what did you like about? It seems like sometimes he stopped for floaters in the past. It seemed like he really had some conviction getting to the rim tonight and finishing there. What did you like about his drive game, and how have you seen him grow as far as driving the basketball is concerned? Yeah,
he was taking direct angles at the hoop. His outside shooting is an enormous threat. So people are coming up on him. And that opens up wider gaps and the opportunities to read the defense and drive and get downhill. So, yeah, I mean, those situations are awesome for us and for him. And we just got to try to facilitate ways to create more of them.
TJ obviously has been working his way back through this hamstring thing. I mean, what did you it seemed like this was kind of the freshest he's been maybe physically. What did you like about his game, and how much do you think just the steals he got, especially in that stretch, help key the rest of that group and get everybody going?
Well, he's a major he's of major importance to us because of the energy he brings, how he sparks the crowd at home. He gives his teammates a lift with whatever's happening, good or bad. He was just an upbeat guy, So, and it's pretty clear that he's starting to feel a lot better and a lot more in rhythm. And, there's no NBA player that isn't a rhythm player on some level, and it's important. And so he's worked hard at it. He played great tonight. He kind of got to the point where, he was pretty well spent, and so we got to get him recharged for the next one.
Just how important was it to get, I guess, a lot of contributions from a lot of guys tonight? We talked the other night about there wasn't a whole lot of production from the bench of the guys outside of Ben and Andrew and TJ and Pascal. You had some big buckets from Jay Huff, from Jeremiah Robinson Earl. We talked about Jarace and TJ. Just what did it mean to get a lot of guys involved tonight?
Yeah, I mean, this is a we thing. This is an us thing. And difficult times. We really got to be together. And in the second half, we were. But there's some avoidable things that we've got to do better with. There was less than 30 seconds in the second quarter where Jay picks up an illegal screening foul where he just moves slightly, but it's a foul. And then the next time down, he goes up to block a shot on Duncan Robinson and comes down like this instead of just staying vertical. And, those are discipline things. And it was him in those two particular instances. But we're having similar type things that happen throughout the game that we need to avoid.
I guess, what do you guys think you did well as far as correcting that? I mean, I think you mentioned, we talked about third quarters after the last game, and you said we got to do better at halftime. What do you think you guys did better to cut down on some of those in the second half and sort of, I guess, refocus everybody?
I mean, we had it down, I think, to 8, and then it ended up being 13 at the end of the quarter, and we've just got to work to maintain a consistent disposition on the game. So in other words, it's always better to play from in front when you can. Last week against Charlotte, we were able to do that. And right now, we're playing good teams that are hot. And so, when you dig a hole and then you're able to get almost out of the hole, and then they make that 4-0 or 5-0 run right back at you, it's a killer. So, everything's connected. Everything's connected. I really believe our guys understand that, and they're all trying. They're all trying. Maybe in some ways, maybe they're trying too hard. But we've got to just be fearless and just let it all hang out.
It's always nice making shots, especially when you put so much time and effort into it each and every day. So it's nice. I mean, a win would have been nicer, but it's part of it.
Rick keeps telling us with you about process and all the things that he's having you work on tonight. For example, he talked about straight line drives. So in a game like this, where do you feel like you had your successes, and as you've worked through the process, those things that you've really been working on with him, what do you feel like clicked for you today?
I feel like just not thinking, not the word I was looking for, but just not thinking, just kind of just hooping, being in a kind of a flow state, and then just whatever happens from there, just accept it, learn, and then move on.
As a team, you guys have almost every game had, it feels like one stretch, like today was the second quarter where it's 25-6 Pistons. What to you is the reason that keeps happening for you guys, or what can you do to prevent that from being a trend?
I feel like it always starts with our defense. Just got to defend at a high level, no matter what's happening on the offensive side. Just let that defense carry us, even when we're not scoring. So we could work on that and always grow in that area.
Oh, Jarace, I wanted to go back to the driving, I guess. I think you were able to get to the rim all 3 times. I think in the past you've settled for some floaters sometimes. And just what do you feel like got better tonight, and what have you really tried to dive in on as far as driving the basketball and getting it to the rim?
Yeah, I would just say reps in the field. I'm obviously playing more this year, getting more opportunity. I'm out there on the floor more. So, I mean, just the more night in, night out, just playing, driving the ball each night, getting to the free throw line. Did it tonight, but just continue to learn myself, keep the game simple, and just make quick decisions.
Rick always talks about playing with force and playing with confidence and conviction and stuff like that. Do you feel like you've improved in that regard, especially the last couple games? Is that something you feel like you've dialed up a little bit, and how, I guess, do you feel like you've done that?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's growing. Just that force, that intent, and just that's really the word I was looking for. Just intent. Just know what I want to get to, knowing what I'm doing on the floor, and then just having a positive impact on both sides.
What do you think's changed for you since Ben Mathurin got back? I mean, obviously you've come off the bench a little bit more. It seems like you've found kind of a comfort level since then. I mean, would you agree with that? Basically, do you feel like it's put you in a role that fits or not, or am I making that up out of nowhere?
Nah, you might be making that up, but I feel like it's just more reps and just getting more consistent. It's a long season. It's a lot of ups and downs. Maybe when Ben was out, I might have been down, and he's back. I guess it looks like I'm up, but, I mean, it's just part of the process. But, I mean, obviously he's a great player. He frees up the floor. The defense is definitely keyed on him because he's a great high-level player. So I feel like when the defense is focused on a guy like that, it definitely makes my job a lot easier.
What do you think just having TJ back and him playing back, I guess, into conditioning has done for the second unit? How do you feel like you guys are operating better as a group?
Yeah, I just feel like we're getting better shots. Our offense is more in control, less free-flowing. But even though we have play calls, we still know that he's a guy we got to give him the ball, give him space, let him get downhill, let him create. So it definitely takes the pressure off of us, us wings, just trying to get downhill, make plays every possession. I'm just having a guy like that could do it so easily, so free-willing. So definitely a great piece to have back.
Just wanted to go back to one more thing. Where do you feel like you've grown defensively over the course of this? Just the assignments you've had, playing with more force. Where do you feel like you've come along in that regard?
Yeah, I would just say being more physical on that side, using my body, pressing up into people, fighting over ball screens, fighting over chest screens, whatever it may be, but just staying solid, just staying in between my man and the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, they start making a little bit of runs. Our offense, gets a little unorganized and all of a sudden one mistakes and like it just keeps on going, like we have to find a way to stop that. And when they make a little run, get organized on offense, trying to stop the run. But it's tough. We can't have those moments in the game because, if we can just keep the game at a at a distance, I feel like we can always give ourselves an opportunity to win. But when the game goes like the other way pretty quickly like that, it's hard to recover from it.
Just watch one of your videos where you talked about patience, giving yourself and your teammates grace. How hard has that been for you this year?
Yeah, it's been challenging. I think naturally I've always been, most of the time, been a part of, like winning and so it's hard. It's hard when you're losing. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be better. Like I promise you, that's the first thing I do every time the game is over. It's like, what can I do better? How can I be better for the team? Because at the end of the day, like all I care about is really winning and just being in a position where you feel like you're not getting the wins. It's hard. It's tough, and I have to just have a positive attitude about it, continue to find different ways every single day to be better. Like that's what it is. It's not, I can't run from it. And I think that, I think in this period of time, a lot of people, run from that situation. You go hide, like we can't hide. Like, this is the NBA. We in front of it, like we gotta be able to tackle it and fight every single day. Just trying to get out of this situation, and for me personally, I'm just it's a hard situation because I want to win so bad, and I do everything for that, and when you don't get that, it's hard. So I have to continue to be a leader, a better leader, find ways to bring guys together. So it's my fight every single day.
How does that make a game like tonight feel, where winning is very central to you, but you guys did show fight, you did have some things go better, but it didn't end it?
Yeah, I think obviously when you look at the second half, you know that we are capable of doing these things. So I think that's what makes it harder because it's like, why aren't we doing it, for 4 quarters? And that consistency is what's needed to win. And we've done it in the past. Obviously, we have a lot of different people out there playing, but we have to continue to aim for that. And there's no excuse that fight every single game. Teams are getting better around the league, and I said that the other day. It's like teams that you beat up before, they're coming for you. They don't care what your record is. They don't care who's out there playing. They don't care about none of that. They see us and they want blood. So we got to be able to go out there and with that mindset in mind and fight like we did in the second half. And have that for multiple quarters, and that's the only way out of it. I think I know that it's going to end. There's going to be some good moments coming, but it's going to take us making it happen. We can't just expect the storm to end. Like we have to do something about it.
Pascal, Jarace is a guy that you've obviously done a lot of work with personally. Just what did it mean to see him take a step tonight after just some of the struggles that he's gone through so far this year?
I think which I told him is I thought today he just looked comfortable. Like, I mean, obviously it's a make or miss league, right? So if you miss shots, we look at you like the worst player in the world. You make shots and you're the best thing since sliced bread, right? So it's like at the end of the day, like it is a make or miss league. But I just thought his process was was really good. And I told him after the game, I think I can count the number of dribbles he had. You know, like he just kept the game simple. Make the right play, you open, let it fly. You don't have it, keep moving it. You make a decision to drive strong, finish. If you don't have it, pass it. Like just as simple, you know. Like I think a lot of times, as skill, you know, when you have so much skill, like you know, you think that you need to show it all at once. Like sometimes it just takes the simple. Like just be simple, look at the game, do what's there, and again, you know, he made shots, so I'm sure that helps a lot. But I think the process of it is more important, because there's going to be games where you're not going to make shots. But if your process is the same and you have that energy on offense and defense, like you can go back home and be okay with your effort out there on the court. So I thought his process was really good, his energy, and that's the way he has to play.
I wanted to dive into what you said about driving. It seemed like he got to the rim rather than taking a floater or something like that more than he has. And I know you talked to him at the beginning of the year about just having a purpose with every dribble you take. I mean, just what did you see from him tonight as far as driving the basketball that maybe you haven't seen?
Like I said, I thought it looked simple. It looked like you make the play that's there, and when you decide to drive it, you know, make a strong drive, and no wasted dribbles. It's something that I keep preaching to him, and you know, I think obviously he's going through a lot, and people, I'm sure, I expected a lot of things from him, but I just feel like, I always feel like when you have the right mindset about the game, man, and you do it the right way, it always comes around, and I just feel like for him, that's what he has to do. Be free, play ball, like you've been doing it your whole life, so this ain't nothing.
Do you think coming off the bench has helped him find a comfort level? Rather, I mean, it just seemed like when it was just you and him and Aaron, it seemed like he had to take a lot of shots. It seemed like does he have to force less, and has that allowed him to be in a more comfortable situation?
I don't think he has to force anything, and to me, I think that's what's gonna take him to that next step. Like, don't feel like you have to overdo it, especially the way we play. Like you can find yourself in great positions all the time if you just keep it simple, and as you continue to grow, all the things that you have in your bag is gonna come out eventually, and you just can't force it to come out.
What do you think? What's it meant to have TJ get back and get back to health? I guess, I mean, he seems to be closer to himself. What does that do for everybody else?
TJ is a workhorse. Like he wants to be his best self, but you know, he forgets that you're a little older, and he had an hamstring injury, right? So it's like you want to go out there and just be TJ right away, but it takes time. So and I always try to tell him, just be patient with yourself, like give yourself grace, because we know what you can do, but you know you can't rush the process, and you're gonna get back, and I'm glad to see him, you know, blow by people, do what TJ does, but he's just getting healthy, right? So that's just what it is. And sometimes you can get caught up in makes and misses and wanting to be yourself right away, but you forget about the things that happened before.